Is equipment expensive? Yes. It depends on what you buy. Like I said, my first recorder I ever bought was $35. So,
It also depends on if you want to go brand name or if you want to go with, no, this thing is cheap and looks cool. So.
that is true. Really research what you're buying. I did not. The first time I bought anything was the first, I think, 6 or 8 pieces of equipment I bought was from Great Britain, and it was in a ghost hunting kit, and it was on eBay. So I bought this, and I did not do the translation, and something I thought was $50 ended up being like 200. So I was horrified. But the stuff works, and for the most part, it's not anything like overly technical that you're gonna be like, holy shit, how am I gonna work? I just swore.
Yeah, we'll just take over and all that.
Okay. It's not going to be anything that you're gonna, not know how to use. I mean, everything comes with a little instruction booklet. It'll be fine. You can get really, really into this stuff, and you can buy electrostatic generators. You can buy Tesla coils and stuff.
You can buy a FLIR imager and stuff like that.
And that's gonna
stuff that we don't own.
Because it literally costs like $1 billion. I could have a FLIR imager or a car, and not like a crappy car, like a good car. So I at that point I would go with a car. So it depends on how into this you want to get and how much money you have at your disposal. So at that point, you do what you do. But equipment can be expensive if you want it to be, I guess. So we'll say sort of. Are there any no-nos on an investigation? Yeah. Social norms, I guess, you should, go along with social norms. I made a little list here of 6 no-nos on an investigation that would come up. Smoking. Smoking's a no-no not because we're, spokesman for, the American Lung Cancer Society or anything like that, though it is bad for you. But the thing about smoke is a lot of times things will appear as mists. You'll get a lot of weird mists. You'll get a lot of weird kind of, for the nerdier out there, ectoplasmic results. So when you get that, you want to know that it's something like that, not
your cigarette.
Your cigarette, yeah. So smoking usually is a no-no. Excess noise. Some people will go along with you and kind of, maybe they'll get
talk and laugh. Cough.
You're using specific results. That happened.
Yeah, miles ago.
Huh?
Miles ago.
I thought you said miles.
No, miles.
Oh, so yeah, excess noise. People because a lot of times if you're doing EVPs, you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna have your recorder and you're gonna be asking questions. So if someone's in the next room making a lot of noise or talking or something, it's gonna, when you're listening to it,
really
it's
hinder the results.
Yeah, it's gonna come across as kind of sketchy. You're not gonna know. And if you're trying to give the results to somebody saying, here's a voice I got in your bedroom, and you hear 4 of the people in the next room talking, so excess noise is bad. Ghost challenging. There's a show. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a show, and this guy is like some weird bodybuilding whatever he is, and he goes into houses that are supposedly haunted, and he Tony Little's these ghosts. He totally tries to Chuck Norris these things. He goes in and he's like, "You want some of me, ghost? You come take me on right now." And I don't know who he's kidding because all the deadlifts on Earth isn't gonna stop a possession. So I would really advise against that. You have any things on that? Have you ever seen that show?
I believe so, yeah.
That is I don't know what he's thinking. That is such a bad idea.
I think it's a team of 3 people.
It might, but what do you...
And then there's that main guy that looks like the Hulk.
Yeah, because everybody's going to be watching this going, oh my god, something's going to happen to that guy one day, and he's going to be sorry. And you're going to see him on Us Weekly or something, crying his eyes out, and he's going to lose all his muscle mass because he's terrified to go to the basement and lift, and because he's possessed by something. And that's what I think is going to happen. Breaking and entering. I don't...
Big no-no.
Yeah, I don't think we should have to tell you not to break and enter into places. But some people will, tell you, hey, we have this haunted house, you should come see it. And then kick a door open for you to get in. I didn't go on that one. Or Madam Morris, you and Kim?
That wasn't Mad Mouse.
What was it?
That's Word.
Wasn't Ward?
Yes.
Oh, it still happened.
Yes. We didn't kick the door open, but the supposed home owners did. But we found out they actually didn't own the home.
See? Look.
Do the research.
The old bait and switch. As far the okie dokie. As far as this goes. Yeah, breaking and entering. Yeah, like we shouldn't have to tell you not to do that, but if you see an old like home or something closed up, that's there for a reason. Usually it's private property, whether it's a old building you think that's haunted or you've heard it's haunted or somebody's house. Not a good idea to go breaking it. Just for the fact that it's illegal, one. We can't do it even if we wanted to because now we film our results for this show. So if we're filming our results for this show and we show us breaking into a place, well, gee, that's evidence, isn't it? So, yeah, they frown on that. So no breaking and entering. Damaging property. A lot of the work you'll be doing if you choose to do this is in cemeteries. And if you're doing cemeteries, a place like that, and you're having a ballyhoo just kicking over tombstones and whatnot.
That's not cool.
Yeah, plus it kind of ruins what everybody else does too. I mean, if we were, Banshee Paranormal Investigations, the tombstone kicking folk, then it gives all other paranormal investigation teams a bad name because then people are going to kind of assume you all do the same thing. It's like company stereotyping or company racism, just typecasting us. So we don't do that. So so no damaging property. That's a bad. Too many people. If this room was haunted, and we had 1 or 2 people set up in here, one to do camera, one to do audio, that's fine. If we had 18 people in here, probably nothing's going to happen.
It just might start to smell after a little bit.
Yeah, cramped, especially in summer. So too many people can too many cooks are spoiling the chili. Soup. We'll edit that out. No, we won't. And with that, we have what equipment do you guys use and what equipment do I need? We use a bunch of stuff. We do. And what equipment do you need? It depends on what kind of investigation you want to do. But for that, I have talked long enough and my mouth is all bubbly and whatnot. So I will leave the better part of this to Mr. Darko and go nuts.
Alright. So basically, the basic equipment that you would need if you're just going to do the basic investigation would be not all of this, but you'd probably need a cassette tape recorder or a digital tape recorder. We use one of each because different frequencies you could get different results. You'd want a digital camera so you could take pictures, see what's going on. You would want probably an EMF detector. Basically what that is, an electronic field detector, basically detects electromagnetic fields. Any kind of fluctuations or anything like that in the electrical spectrum, it'll let you know. K2 meter, we have one.
What's a K2 meter?
Basically lights up, detects any kind of energy, and you can use it to communicate with.
Oh. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Don't need one. We have one. See if we could get any kind of interaction. We have a digital laser thermometer, which basically has a laser on it. Wherever you point the laser, tells you the temperature. A lot of times when you're doing an investigation, you feel a cold breeze or wonder what was that draft or anything like that. You can see if there's a difference in the temperature field. A lot of times you'll get a cold energy field because whenever a spirit tries to manifest, it uses the energy in the air, can make the temperature decrease. Camcorders, can't show you a camcorder, it's recording us. We have an IR illuminator on this. Okay, basically tape recorders, cassette, digital. Thermometer with laser, IR illuminator. Basically what this does, for any kind of cameras with night vision or anything on there, it helps illuminate through the darkness and gives you more light. Though you can't see it with your eye, the camera sees it and it lights up very brightly as if it was daytime. So flashlights, always good to have, even if we are dorks. Motion detectors, good to have. Basically, if anything passes in front of them, this has basically a laser sight through it that anything that passes through, energy, solid mass, anything like that, that'll go off and let us know. Cameras, we have the K2 and EMF detector, detects any kind of electromagnetic fields. No, shut up. A lot of batteries, we always have batteries, don't want to run out. Plenty of tapes. If you're using the tape recorder for the EVPs, you want to make sure you have extra tapes, because each side holds about 30 minutes. You're going to be there for more than an hour. Same thing with the camcorder tapes. You're going to need the room for it. It's always good to have a multi-tool. Has various stuff on it so that you can fix or whatever you might need to do with stuff. Holy water.
A must-have.
Good thing to carry. You never know if it's some kind of evil entity there or not. This is, of course, blessed by a priest. Helps keep the bad stuff out. Then two-way radios. There's only two of us, so when we do investigations, we're going to be in different parts of a building, graveyard, or whatever, and we're going to need to communicate to, just in case if we hear something or whatever. So basically, that's the gear. I will zoom in on the list for you.
What about our cases too? Because those are kind of snazzy, I would have to say. I would think those cases are cool.
So on this list you can see everything we just went over. We do have all this equipment. We do occasionally have other equipment that we can bring. And of course we're always getting more equipment. Always good to have. Cases to store your equipment safely. These cases basically have pluck foam in them. You basically shape it to the objects you're going to be putting inside. The cases are weatherproof and waterproof and all that stuff, so nothing gets destroyed inside of there. It's always good to have. And here's all the equipment we just went over. Okay. Alright, and as far as before with the whole Banshee intern thing, we are recruiting members. It's difficult only being two in a group. Could be 3 or 4, which would make things a little nicer. We do have equipment. If you want to bring your own equipment, that's great. We do want to bring you on a test investigation just to see how it goes. But we are actively seeking members. So if you are interested in joining, just get a hold of us.
And we do haze. There's a lot of hazing for interns, so we hope you guys can drink.
He hazes, I watch him off.
We hope that you can jump through things, somersault. You ready?
Tightrope, whatever. That'd be a difficult one.
Especially if you're doing
Yes. Basically, that's the gear. That's the questions we've gotten.
What about paperwork?